Oh, what is going on, everybody?
Hello!
It is Pixel Partners here, and welcome back to Danganronpa. When we left off, it is trial time for our classmate, Sakura.
Yeah.
We gotta figure out what's going on here. And you know, first, Hiro was like, shit, I did it. But that's not the case at all. And then Toko was like, I did it. But maybe that's not the case because she hit Sakura by the magazine stand, but Sakura then was slumped over in the chair still. So it's like, well, why?
Yeah.
It's because she was obviously still alive at that point. So what is the deal? She was still alive at that.
Are you still convinced the case has come to an end?
And Hina's really wanting a verdict.
yeah.
She's out for blood.
She is.
The biggest mystery of all, the locked room, still has yet to be explained.
Yep.
Until we take care of that, we can't say this case has been properly settled.
Oh, that part's easy. After she killed Sakura, Toko just hid in the locker again.
So she just hid in there till everyone showed up and opened the door? And while everything was all confused and hectic, she just snuck out of the locker into the group.
Well, we were staring right at Sakura's body where a locker was in front of us, so I don't think that would be possible.
Yeah, he just straight up said what you were
Toko
thinking.
was hiding in lockers because, I mean, I was in the locker. I mean, I saw it for myself. It was me all along.
We opened the door to the rec room. Hina and I.
Oh yeah, and the locker door was open.
Yeah.
And at that point, the locker was already open. So obviously Toko couldn't have been hiding in there.
Okay then, where was she hiding?
Nowhere. She was already gone.
What's this whole locked room thing about anyway?
How do you not know? You killed her!
I think the fact that I don't know proves I didn't kill her. Thank you very much. You're lying.
No, she's not. I've been saying all along, there's still more to this case.
But if Genocide Jill didn't do it, that means Ogre didn't die from the shot to the head.
I
Correct.
think it sounded like a gun. And
Well, I can't imagine what else could have killed her.
Really?
That's because you're overlooking vital information.
could we really be missing something so important?
I mean, we're not
There's
missing
another
it, but
possible
they are.
explanation. Maybe it's. Oh god, we got a lot going on here. Okay, so
So many X'd out people now.
What was it?
yeah. All right, let me just go over everything. So we have Monokuma file.
Every time you do this, it cuts off the line of the.
I know. I just want to go over the evidence. He'll be fine. So, victim died at 12. Discovered on the 3rd floor. Evidence is strong. Loaded back ahead. The victim suffered vomiting of blood. Okay. And
This
then
sounds
we
like a
have-
DDR track.
It really does. Pick your music. All right, what was her account again? Oh yeah, ask them to meet. Said notes on the door. So I don't think that'll be relevant. And then there's the yellow powder.
Yeah.
Wait. Yellow powder. There's that part there, the yellow powder on her foot, which still has many questions.
Yeah.
Oh,
If it
wrong
wasn't
button.
from Genocide Jill's attack, then what was it?
There's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head.
I don't know if I should put the yellow powder there, actually. It's definitely the yellow powder on her head that we have to go for, so
Yeah.
written in there.
Yellow powder on her head?
Was it that killed
Or on her
Ogre?
foot.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If it
I'll
wasn't
probably
from
go with the
Genocide
Monokuma
Jill's
file on
attack,
this one, because the vomiting of blood.
Yeah.
There's no other possible cause.
I'll keep getting a
What
little
killed
bit.
Sakura? I can't think of anything
Whoops!
other than
Didn't mean to hit
the
that.
shot to her head.
Sorry, that was instinct for some reason. I was just
Yeah.
like, "Ah!" All right.
According to the Monokuma file, Sakura had vomited blood.
And that's
All
an
over the
internal
place.
thing, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we can assume there's a chance this was related to her cause of death. In fact, there was even a trace of blood left around her mouth.
Well, I mean, maybe when she got hit with the bottles, she cut the inside of her mouth.
Really, girl?
If that's all it was, the file wouldn't have specified vomited blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I didn't find any cuts inside her mouth.
She checked inside her mouth.
God, you really are into dead bodies.
Oh, God.
No, I'm not into dead bodies. What I'm into is solving mysteries.
Like a detective.
But
Yep.
if there wasn't a cut or anything, then what made her vomit blood?
Some sort of reaction within her body. Most likely, Sakura was poisoned.
Poisoned?
That's right. This is the conclusion I've arrived at, and so there can be no mistake.
Oh, because you think that's what it is?
Yeah.
Oh,
You can stop now.
yeah.
Poisoned? It isn't possible.
That's very possible.
Is it really so hard to believe? Then let me explain exactly how the culprit was able to poison her.
Lay it on me.
You can explain it?
Of course, if you don't mind.
Everyone quiet! Shut up and listen to Master!
Jesus, okay.
You're the only one talking.
The key to unlocking this mystery was hiding in the chem lab up on the 4th floor.
Not in the rec room? Then I could have found it all along.
You never would have, since you gave up on the search the moment you were barred from the crime scene.
Well, yeah, good point.
There's a big shelving unit in the chem lab that houses a variety of mixtures and chemicals. And that's where I found this.
Kim C9.
Yep.
The poison?
It's not an especially powerful poison, but it'll still kill you if you drink an entire bottle. But the specific properties don't matter. What does matter is where I found it.
Where'd you find it?
The shelf is divided up into 3 sections, A, B, and C.
You
Yeah,
learned
because
all
he was
this.
there with us.
Dietary
Yeah.
supplements. In B, reagents. And in C, a variety of lethal chemicals.
It is weird that the poison, there was a poison bottle that was in the A part for some reason. I don't know what the point
That's
for
where
that
the
was
poison
there.
came from? Section C?
It was in section A.
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
Bottle of poison Byakuya showed us. I'm sure I know where he got it. It was on the same shelf of supplements in section A.
Yep. Easy
The
peasy.
poison was actually in Section A, wasn't it?
But you just said that Section A was for supplements or whatever.
Strange, isn't it? Why would there be a bottle of poison mixed in with all those nutritional additives?
Yeah, so? Why?
Because the culprit switched it out. That's why.
What do you mean?
I mean, this.
He's gonna show the what?
I couldn't believe my eyes. Byakuya put the bottle of poison to his lips and...
Master!
We were so shocked at what we were seeing, all we could do is stand there and watch. But as if we were the most natural thing in the world, Byakuya was as calm as ever.
Bro.
That tastes awful.
Oh no! Master's in real trouble! You have to drink some water! You can't just swallow powder! It'll stick to your throat!
Idiot! He just swallowed poison! We need to make him spit it out!
The flavor certainly makes me want to spit it out. What's so high quality about this stuff?
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the protein, of course.
Protein?
Can I see that bottle for a second?
Sure. Do whatever you like.
This is poison. You fucked up.
Yoko took the bottle from Byakuya and scraped out a bit of the contents with one finger. She touched her fingers to her tongue.
It's protein powder.
Weird. So someone switched out...
Someone put poison
Protein.
powder into a protein container.
Well, I mean, yes, but right now we're talking about the fact that there was a poison container with protein powder in it instead.
Yeah, they
In
switched.
shelf A.
They switched containers.
That is interesting. It's just... Huh? Yeah, that.
Correct. That wasn't poison in the bottle, but harmless protein powder. Which makes one wonder, the poison that should have been in that bottle, where did it go?
The bottle of poison was actually filled with protein powder. Which would mean that conversely, the poison must have been in it. Could it be?
The poison went into a protein powder bottle instead of the protein
Oh,
powder.
that's a lot of...
Protein drink.
Yeah. I need a tea. Where's the tea? I need a tea. Give me a tea. Give me
Tea,
a
please.
tea.
Tea. E.
Oh, it's gone. Wait, E?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it is E. My bad. And you're trying to get it behind the E.
D. I.
Give me an I. There it is. I got it. Wait. Oh, you
Ooh.
ass. It got behind the thing. N.
Oh,
Got it.
there we go.
Fix
I
it.
understand.
I can spell.
The
All right.
poison must have been poured into the protein can. If the protein
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Poison bottle,
Yeah.
It seems only logical to assume the reverse is true, right?
Absolutely. The contents of each container were switched. So the protein was in the bottle of poison, and the poison was in the protein can. Once you accept that, it becomes obvious how the culprit was able to get Sakura to drink the poison.
Holy crap!
All they had to do was hand her something there at the scene, and she was happy to drink the poison herself.
Something at the scene.
Protein drink.
Yeah.
I got it!
A cup filled with water.
You're saying they gave her a protein drink, right?
A protein drink which actually contained a deadly poison.
What?
See, I was gonna say something before, but I was worried about something, and I was gonna say, and I don't know what the implications of it would be when it comes to how Monokuma would see it. What if someone switched it and tricked Hina into giving her a protein drink that was filled with poison? Would that be considered as someone else being the Blackened because they are the ones that enacted the switch? Or would it be Hina because she's the one that gave the poison that would kill her? Because she wouldn't know, like, the person that enacted it would be someone else. Would they be the Blackened, or would it be whoever gave the drink, if that's even the case?
I wonder, dude, what if Sakura was the one that switched it knowing Hina would might make her a drink?
Yes, maybe. I
And
just
she
hope that
set her
doesn't
up.
affect Hina.
What if she set her up to be...
They were two good friends. She wouldn't set her up, right?
But no, because like it could set her up to potentially
Be the Blackened and get free.
and graduate.
Oh, but then she might kill her.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like this.
That's all it took to kill
Oh,
Sakura.
I don't like this.
That is the true cause of death.
You know, I do remember Ogre saying that protein stuff was good for all kinds of aches and pains.
That's
So
no.
maybe she took it to try and help with the whole bleeding head wound thing.
But what was offered to her instead was a bottle full of poison. And I already know exactly who swapped the mixtures.
For real? Who was it?
Evidence revealing who replaced the two materials was left in the chem lab for anyone to see.
The
Evidence
footprints.
that shows the switch them, it has to be. See what I found this. It must be. Yeah, where? There's so much. I can find it. Footprints. There we go.
I got it!
Yeah, because that powder was on Sakura's feet.
Footprints left behind
Yeah.
in front of the shelf. That's the evidence you're talking about, isn't it?
I visited the chem lab this morning, and there were definitely no footprints there at that point. They must have appeared around the time of the murder, which leaves no doubt that they're connected. What's more, the footprints were in front of Section A, where I found the bottle meant for the poison. The culprit must have gone to Section A to swap the poison and protein, leaving their footprints behind. And given how clear the prints were, figuring out who they belong to will pose no problem. All we have to do is check everyone's footprints right now. Then we'll see who...
Oh, someone's interjecting.
Yeah.
It was me.
Evan, your face.
The footprints. They're mine.
Because she went in to go get the drink.
Yeah.
Hina?
If you're all gonna find out anyway, I'd rather you hear it straight from me, you know?
Okay, tell me what's going on.
Ogre's killer was...
Yep. I did it. I killed Sakura.
Stop it.
As I suspect.
Calm down. We can calm down on this one. We don't gotta jump to conclusions yet. It's fine.
Were made
It's
by
fine.
a pair of sneakers. There was no mistaking it. And the only people here who wear sneakers are...
Sneakers. I think people wearing sneakers are. Well, I guess me and Hina.
I got it!
Obviously, Leon.
Because that's why he's like, it wasn't you, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, so Byakuya.
That's what he asked,
That
yeah.
explains why you...
These footprints must be. Makoto, are they yours? No! Okay, let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself.
If the footprints didn't belong to Makoto, that left only one other possibility.
Just Hina.
Plus, Hina's been acting strange ever since the trial began. You were in an awful rush to get to the vote, weren't you?
She was.
Yeah.
Time You've been focused on pinning the crime.
She's like, it was either this, or this, not me.
Yeah. Oh.
I can't believe it.
Me either.
About it,
So I
can't you
don't.
believe?
I won't.
Well, it's just the two of them were so close.
That's likely exactly why it turned out this way. Because they were so close, Sakura didn't think twice about it when Hina handed her the concoction. Hina used that trust to kill her. She deceived the victim, and she tried to deceive all of us. I have to say, Hina, coming from you, this was a particularly nasty little scheme.
I don't believe it.
She's not denying it.
Did you really kill Sakura? And if you did, why? Why would you do that?
I found her. There in the rec room. She was hurt. She asked me to bring her that protein drink. But when I went to get the powder from the chem lab, it just occurred to me all of a sudden.
Now's my chance to kill her. That's what you thought, right? That's when you switched out the protein powder, and that's when you gave her the poisoned mixture.
And then she downed it all at once. And then
Hold it. I'm not convinced.
Me neither.
You're
Yeah.
not about to claim she wouldn't kill a close friend, are you? You still don't get it, do you? The game we're playing here isn't so kind. Honeyed words like friendship don't matter here. What matters is outwitting
I think
the
my theory's
opponent,
right.
defeating
Whoa.
them.
Which one?
That Sakura set her up to kill her.
Maybe.
Not a person alive would sacrifice themselves for another. In the end, we're all in it for ourselves. Just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura to save herself.
You say that, but I'm still not convinced.
How many times do you plan to repeat yourself?
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism. But there's still that one unsolved mystery, and I'm not convinced.
Are you talking about the locked room problem?
Hina, if you really are the killer, explain it. How did you create that locked room?
Well, that doesn't matter. Just because I'm guilty, that means I have to tell you everything?
No, it doesn't. But the fact that you won't tell us concerns me.
Surely you're not... Do you honestly think Hina didn't actually kill her?
Technically, I don't think she did.
No.
Impossible.
Not
she switched
on
out
purpose.
the mixtures. She's the culprit. There's no way you can doubt this.
He's
Are
so
you
sure
sure
of
about
himself.
Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it, it just doesn't fit.
What doesn't fit?
I mean, why would someone leave such a clear clue like a footprint? It's too obvious, too easy.
He's right. It makes it look like you wanted people to suspect you.
Yeah.
That was... I was just nervous. So, I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
You didn't notice?
Yeah, that's just how it was. What can I do?
Yeah, see, I think Sakura's like, hey, I want you to get out of here. So I think she set her up to help her look like she became blackened.
I guess, but here's the thing. That wouldn't help her, because if the only way that Hina would be able to get out is if she was actually the blackened, because then everyone else has to, well, I don't, because it doesn't make sense. Because if she was the blackened and she did get caught, then she would lose and die. She'd have to try and keep herself a secret to get out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's more to it than that, because it wouldn't make nothing make sense for Sakura to actually have helped her by doing that.
This is definitely a big middle finger to Monokuma from Sakura, though.
Maybe this is the way that she beats the mastermind of like, what do you do if someone else is the one? I don't know. Let's figure out where this is
Yeah.
Listen,
going.
Hina. Could you go into a bit more detail? Tell us more about when you switched the poison and the protein.
How come? That doesn't matter.
Hina, please, I'd like to know too.
We
Trust
had
me, my
something.
donut girl.
Yeah.
Fine.
Waste your time if you like. It's clear that Hina is the culprit. There's nobody else to suspect. Nobody else could have possibly done it.
Maybe it was you. Everyone else here was so convinced that they did it themselves.
Yeah.
Okay? You're the only one that hasn't backed away from your statement of possibly killing her and been like, I'm the one that did it.
Go ahead, Hina. Start from the moment you arrived at the chem lab.
I'd love if he actually did it so we could get rid of his ass. He's a punk bitch that would poison someone.
Yeah.
Right away, I went to section C and got the poison.
And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shelf?
Yeah. When I opened the bottle, I dropped it like an idiot.
I see. Okay then, go on.
So then I moved to section A and got the protein powder, and that's where I switched them. Once I was done with that, I took the protein can that had the poison in it and left the room. But I accidentally put the bottle filled with protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did got found out. And that's it.
That story you just told. First you went to section C to get the poison. Then moved to section A to get the protein, right? Meaning you went from section C to section A. Do I have that correct?
Yeah.
But if that's true, isn't that a little strange?
There would have been
Can you
footprints all over the
repeat that
place.
series of events one more time?
What's wrong with you, Big Mac? You're being awfully pushy.
It's the same thing no matter how many times you hear it. How long until you're satisfied?
How long? Until we figure it out. Until I can cover the full truth of this case.
Dude, Byakuya's being a real prosecutor
Byakuya's
right
being
now.
a real bitchula.
Bitch. What?
Okay, so footprints of the powder, chem lab shelf, and then the other one.
First,
So
I went to section C.
let me go over these now that she just said everything. So we have the footprints in the powder, some of the footprints, and it was only on the leftmost section. So I like that. There was the chem lab shelf. A bottle of poison labeled as section C had been placed in section A. That was the weird switchy thing.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one?
That's when I grabbed the poison.
Okay.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah. When I grabbed the bottle, I dropped it.
Okay, and then?
I moved from section C to section A.
I think that's where
Yeah.
it'll be, is the footprints in the
That's where I
powder.
switched the powders.
Because you should have left footprints unless
Once
she
I was
went
done
all the way
switching
around.
them, I put the bottle filled with the protein powder back in section A. Then I took the bottle with the poison in it and left the chem lab. That's all there is to it.
Honestly, that's enough. How much longer must we tolerate this?
Do you want to die?
And it's weird because he should be smart enough to realize the contradiction hearing it
Yeah.
multiple times. He's the smart one here. This
Yeah.
fact's clearly contradicting what he just told us.
First, I went to section C.
And you spilled some of the.
Yeah. Okay. I moved from section C to section
There we go.
Objection.
What do you say, Byakula? I'm just gonna give him
You
all
said you
weird
went to
different
get the
names.
poison from section C, and that's where you spilled the powder, right?
Yeah? What about it?
And after that, you said you moved from section C to section A to get the protein. But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from section C to section A. That contradicts what you just said.
Then maybe she moved in some weird direction on purpose to disguise her movements?
No, that can't be it. Remember what Hina just
He's
said?
like, no.
Yeah.
I was just nervous, so I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
What the? Hina, what's the meaning of this?
Well,
You lied to us. Plain and simple. If you look at the footprints, your movements in the chem lab are obvious. The powder had already been spilled when you
Yep.
came in, and you went straight to section A. So you never went to section C. Whatever you did there, it only involved section A.
well, you see...
What the?
He shook.
He shook it. My brain couldn't figure this
What
out.
the hell? What's going on here?
Look at
He's
him.
so shook.
And the footprints aren't the only problem with her account.
What?
Dumb fuck.
Before I explain
I
that
was
part,
wrong.
I'd like to submit some new evidence.
New evidence.
New evidence? Impossible, there can't be.
He's so confused.
Sure. After all, you're the one that gave it to me.
Huh?
I did?
It was hidden inside the bottle of poison you gave me. I'm amazed you, of all people, would miss such a vital clue.
Her smirk.
A truly grave oversight.
He's like, I've been checkmated.
I'm pretty sure he has said that too, which is why she
Yeah.
said it.
Just say it already. What is it you think you found?
I found
Salty.
this.
He's so mad.
Mm-hmm.
A piece of glass?
Oh, blue glass.
That should have only come from the window.
Yeah.
Now hold on then. Wait. How'd it get in the poison
Well,
bottle?
keep going and we'll find
It sunk
out.
to the bottom of the bottle, and the hidden clue was exposed thanks to you ingesting the powder.
Too bad you didn't swallow the glass. I mean, what?
That would've been great, but-
without you. So thank you for that.
But, what is it?
Oh, you still don't realize?
She's having fun.
Well, then,
Is it Byakuya?
I hope it is.
I hope it fucking is.
why don't you explain it?
It could have only come when we broke the window down.
Me?
Oh, he's so tilted.
Yeah.
You really do know. Explain the meaning of that shard of glass.
He's like, I left a hint behind? My game is complete! Oh, I'm ready for you to. That shard of blue glass that is Kyoko found on the ground in the bottle of poison.
Oh, do you
I think I
think
remember
he
now.
set up Hina?
Wait, the rec room window. Because it's blue glass.
I think he set up Hina.
It's part of the window from the rec room door, right?
The window?
It's so
The
weird.
window we broke to get in was light blue, just like that.
Because why is
So
the.
I think that must be it.
Yeah.
There's so many weird. Because it's kind of confusing of why it would be there. Because
Just
the
keep
bottle was
going,
put there
yeah.
It
afterwards.
must be. Of course, that leads to another question. How did a shard of glass from the window get inside this bottle of poison?
Yeah.
What's so strange about that?
What's strange is that, according to what Hina told us,
Where was it? Where was it the bottle of poison should have been when I broke in the rec room window? And what Hina told us, it should have been on section A of the shelf.
Yeah.
I got it! The bottle of poison was left on the shelf in the chem lab. That is what you said, right, Hina? And yet, somehow a piece of glass from the rec room window made its way into the bottle.
Everything Hina told us was a lie?
I could tell.
So, actually, maybe
She sounded off when she was saying everything.
that might have actually been her taking the poison bottle out of the rec room and putting it back into the chem lab.
In reality, that bottle of poison most definitely found its way to the rec room. It was there at least until the window got broken. In other words, when the locked room was unlocked. There's no other way to explain the presence of that glass in that bottle.
And then, once the room was opened, the bottle somehow got moved back to the shelf in the chem lab. Meanwhile, the protein can we found at the crime scene was planted there.
Byakuya was in the
After
chem
locked room
lab
was
after
opened.
that.
In other words,
Yeah, but
after
the
Sakura died.
the footprints were Hina's.
I know, but he was in.
He would have left footprints to get to the chem lab door.
Wait, hold on. You're moving too fast.
The
He's
chem
at-
lab
he's-
door? You mean the cabinet?
The cabinet.
Yeah.
He's so confused.
I'll grant you, the bottle of poison may well have been in the rec room when it was locked.
Or he is involved in this somehow, maybe. I don't know.
But how can
I
you
hope
say
he
the
is.
protein can was put there after the room was unlocked?
I've never seen him so confused. I love it.
Already
Yeah.
know she was given the protein can with the poison inside, right?
I don't care if he's guilty or confused, both of them feels mwah, good.
If that can wasn't there when she died, how did she get poisoned?
He's not cocky, which is great.
We do
Yeah.
need to explain that. But before we do, there's something I'd like to confirm with everyone here.
Okay.
It has to do with the protein can. After Sakura's body was discovered, did anyone move it or trip over it or anything like that?
What are you talking about? Is this some kind of loaded question?
Not at all. Just answer to the best of your ability.
To the best of your
Well,
ability.
no, not that I remember.
Yeah, me either.
Not me.
Same here.
Yeah, me either.
Someone's lying.
Okay then, that settles it. That proves that the protein can found its way to the murder scene after the room was opened.
Oh, come on! How can you say that? How can you know what I don't know?
Wow.
So mad. The reason she can say this is because there's evidence. There's proof that someone brought the protein can to the rec room after it was open. He didn't get to investigate the crime scene, so he doesn't know half of this shit. It's great. It's wonderful. I love it. Okay.
How can you know what I don't know?
It's
When
wonderful.
it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying someone planted it there after we got the door open?
No. No, that's impossible. It had to have been in there the whole time.
Oh my god, he
It
is...
had to be. It was in there before the rec room was unlocked.
Good lord, dude.
So
He's
tilted.
actually yelling. I've never heard him yell like
He's
this.
so mad. I love it. When the locked room was unlocked, in other words, when I broke the window, if I concentrate on that, I want to make sure I get the right
When it
thing, because I
comes
don't
to that
have,
protein
like...
can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked.
Maybe it's that. Oh,
Absolutely
maybe
was
that's
not
what I
in
gotta
there.
do.
So you're saying someone planted it there after we got the...
No. It had to have been. It had to be. It was in there before the rec room was unlocked.
Alright, I'm gonna
When
go
it
ahead
comes
and...
to that, there's not a doubt.
Until the locked
I'm gonna go ahead
room
and
was
suck that up.
unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying
So-
someone
What are you
planted-
doing?
I'm gonna put this on
It had
his
to have been
statement.
In there the whole time. It had to be. It was in there before the rec room was
Oh, okay, I guess not. Because nothing else makes sense. What Kyoko said doesn't make any sense to you either, right? My inferences are never wrong.
Shoot!
If you think about this more time, there must be a contradiction there somewhere. I just...
When it comes to that protein can,
Because I don't...
Well, we haven't used the yellow powder yet. That fell on Sakura's foot.
But that's not a
There's not a
contradiction
doubt
to
in my
what's
mind.
here. And it's only the source of the
until
powder,
locked room
not
was
the actual
unlocked,
powder.
it
But
absolutely was not in there.
maybe I'll try and throw
So
this at
you're
his statement.
saying someone planted...
No. It had to have been in there the whole time. It had to be. It was
Chapow!
in there
Maybe? Okay,
There
so it's
we
just
go.
a protein drink.
Telling him no, that's wrong.
I love it.
Remember how there was broken glass scattered all around the room, right?
Of course. It came from the window you broke to get in. What about it?
Well, those pieces weren't just scattered around the protein can. We also found pieces underneath the can.
What?
So confused.
And this proves it. It shows that the can must have been put down on the floor after the window was broken. So it had to be after we got into the room.
I see. So that's your explanation. Kyoko, earlier when you asked if anyone had moved the can or tripped over it,
If that were the case, that would explain the can being on top of the glass.
Yeah.
So you asked everyone about it to eliminate that possibility right
Smart.
out of the gate.
And
She's so
that's made
smart.
everything
Yeah.
clear, hasn't it?
Oh, she's real happy
as
right
long
now.
as it was a locked room, it only contained the bottle of poison and not the protein can. But once the room was opened up, they were switched, and as a result, the protein can wound up in the rec room, and the bottle of poison returned to the chem lab.
if that's all true, then why did Sakura drink the poison? I thought we all agreed she was tricked into drinking it because of the protein can.
No, that's not why. The only explanation is she drank it from its original bottle, knowing exactly what it was.
Precisely. She was alone in a locked room. All she had was the poison. What other possibility is there?
You're saying she drank it knowing what it was? Such a ridiculous fiction is...
True.
Exactly what happened.
We called that from the get-go.
Yeah.
It's like,
Then tell
oh,
us
she did it.
already. Sorry. Please, tell us.
Oh,
Before we get to that,
No, we can't have
one
character
other
growth here. We don't do that with you here.
We need to establish who exactly got the poison
You're not
from the
allowed to get
camera.
better
No,
as a
Get to the
person.
rec room.
We've already canceled you. It's too late for you to have any kind of redemption arc. You need to stop.
It was Hina, right? She took it and gave it to Ogre.
What do you think, Makoto?
The one who got the poison from the cab lamp and brought it to the rec room had to have been Sakura herself.
Yep.
I think it was Sakura herself.
Huh? So Sakura, who was apparently murdered, just poisoned herself?
What are you talking about? There's no way.
On the contrary, we know for a fact she went to the chem lab, right to the section full of poisons.
Yep.
You're lying. Stop lying.
Oh.
Why would you lie like that?
No, it's not a lie. Sakura definitely went to Section C. Kyoko already showed me the evidence I need.
The powder on her shoe, yeah.
Yeah, enough to hit Hina with it. I have to make her accept it. Is it time for a bullet time battle? This feels like a bullet time. Got it. Sorry,
Moment
girl.
of truth.
Oh, man.
She's like, what? No.
You're a liar. What are you saying? Wrong. You're wrong. I'm telling you, I did it. Stop talking. You're a liar. Wrong. You're wrong. Wrong. You're wrong. I hate you.
Oh. No, don't say that, please. That hurts me. Please never say that again.
You're a liar. What are you saying? Wrong. You're wrong. I'm telling you, I did it.
Shit.
Stop
I'm off.
talking.
God.
You're a liar. Wrong. You're wrong.
Shit. All right, final shot. You need to make sure you get it with the right one.
Do you have
Yellow
any
powder.
idea
Oh, that's all
Yep.
I have there, so.
This should prove it. Hina, did you know that Sakura's foot had a certain yellow powder stuck to it?
It did?
It did. The same yellow powder that had been spilled by the shelf in the chem lab. That powder was yellow, wasn't it? So the powder we found on Sakura, what else could it be but the powder from the chem lab?
Wait. So, what was that powder doing on Ogre's foot?
And it was only on her instep, right?
Sakura must have been standing right there where the powder was spilled. So the person who spilled the powder by the shelf wasn't Hina, but Sakura.
Yep.
And when Sakura dropped the bottle, she dropped it away from where she was actually standing, which is how she was able to avoid getting it all over herself. But the powder still got scattered around, and some of it must have wound up on her instep. Is there any problem with my thinking?
Nope.
But why did Sakura pay a visit to Section C in the first place?
To drink poison.
The
Yeah.
only explanation is that she was looking for poison. After all, that's all that section contained.
Yep.
No! It was me!
Why would you do that?
Because I killed her!
No, you didn't kill her.
The one that killed Sakura. Making Sakura in the poison and solve mystery in the locked room. There's only one way to explain it. It's just like I said.
Yeah.
I always knew the pictures were there. So, where's hers?
Yep.
We just select her as it.
Yep.
Here's my answer.
Oh, man.
The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
What? The killer was Sakura?
Wait, so you're saying it was suicide?
Cause like with
I don't believe it any more than I believe I can fly!
oh okay, but with Byakuya he's like, oh, this is a killer be killed game. Why would someone
Yeah.
kill themselves?
Yeah.
That's why he's so
I can't
shook.
believe it either.
Yeah.
Or rather, I don't want to believe it. But when you really think about it, everything matches up. Sakura went and got the poison. She barricaded herself in a room, and she drank it. All so she could end her own life.
Monokuma's like, man, no execution.
It's like, Tim, I could have killed all of you right now, but you gotta be smart, you little stupid assholes. Because of course, he created. I wouldn't be surprised if he did, but
Yeah.
it was Sakura.
I got it! The locked room mystery was created by Sakura.
She put the chair there.
Yeah,
I'm
obviously.
sure she locked herself in so nobody could stop her from doing what she did.
Yep.
She sat there, drank the poison, and breathed her last breath. And the empty bottle of poison rolled around the locked room until we came and opened it. At that point, someone grabbed the bottle and snuck it out of the room. And that was you, wasn't it, Hina?
Why though?
Did she know?
You did it to throw off the investigation, didn't you? When we found her body, you stayed right there near the door. Because you
Oh,
already
yeah.
knew Sakura was dead. And because the bottle of poison had rolled near the doorway.
That's when you picked up the bottle, right? I was too shocked to notice anything, and Kyoko was busy checking the body.
And the more I think about it, the more I realize how unusual your actions were.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
I have to go get them. I have to go get the others.
When Shaky Legs Hina left the rec room.
You said you were going to go get everyone else.
But you did.
But your
Yeah.
real intention was to go to the chem lab and switch out the containers, wasn't it? Once you were at the chem lab, you headed straight to the section where the protein powder was kept. There, you took the powder and poured it into the bottle of poison you'd grabbed from the rec room. When you left the lab, all you had was the empty protein can. Thinking about it like that, the footprints make perfect sense.
Why would she do that though?
That is the confusing
You gathered
part.
everyone together, and once you were back in the rec room,
I got everyone.
Ogre!
Oh, so she's dead, huh?
Sakura's been killed? I see.
while everyone else was focused on Sakura, you quietly placed the can on the ground.
But why?
I should have noticed. You should have been the first one to run up to Sakura's lifeless body.
Yeah, that's
The
true.
Hina I know never would have left her side in a situation like that.
Grab the Fumi's side or Sakura's. What's up with that?
So, Sakura committed suicide. In order to hide this fact, Hina undertook a series of actions to undermine the investigation.
But why?
It's a good question.
As long as you could disguise the truth, you didn't care if we blamed you for her death. That's
she
why
not-
you didn't bother to get rid of such obvious evidence, right?
Did she not want to make them think that Sakura was weak or something?
Maybe?
The footprints in the powder and the bottle of poison? Vital pieces of evidence, and yet...
So you're saying Hina consciously deceived us to make it look like she killed Sakura?
Unfortunately.
No! No! No, 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 no! I killed her! I did it!
That's enough, Hina. It's over.
It's not! Nothing's over!
It is. Actually, no. You're right. We have to end this properly.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting this is
yeah.
a thing. Okay, so those are the notes left to everyone. So I believe that would be, I'd assume it's Byakuya's, but I'll just give it a second one, talk to Hero. And one other person.
What's that face?
I hate it. I hate it so much. Okay, Act 2. She snuck in there before anyone else. Got to the locker room and hid somewhere.
The
I
locker,
believe that'll be her
yep.
in the locker. Make sure there's nothing else of her in the locker. No. But, I hate that this is the thing. Why they have two of her
Oh
sitting
wait,
in the locker?
that's her coming out.
Is it? I don't know what it is.
Yeah, the one that we chose is her coming out.
I hate that there's two. We'll wait for a second and see what it looks like as we go through here.
Who goes into a locker backwards?
Well, when a locker is very tight, you have to go in backwards to look out the window.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so we'll leave that for now and we'll keep pushing forward. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! So that's when he broke the bottle on her. What was that broken bottle when? His was the one with the rook in it, or the knight.
The rook.
Sorry, chess pieces. Yeah, sitting right there. And then
God,
he
yeah.
put in the whole Toko did it.
Yeah.
That part.
And just
and
booked it.
then, so, well, actually, no, you know what? I think this will be the one here is. I think we had it right the first time, because you'll notice she's terrified here and sweating. So that probably
She's
fits here
always
with
sweating.
that.
What are you talking about?
Well, now, you see what I mean? How she's.
Yeah.
You can tell she's visibly confused and distraught from what she sees there. So I think the other one is the correct one of her just going in. Oh, whoops! That's not how things work. There we go. If it's wrong, we know which one's to switch. But and then she grabs the magazine. What did she do with the magazine with the dying message on it? What? She put it back upside down.
Yep.
But it's like, wait, she's alive. And then this is the Genocide Jack was the Queen bottle. Doop. And then this is, a lot of violence over here. Right before she downed the bottle. I'll probably check it's probably going to be that one. What actually killed Sakura from the chem lab. Chemical 9. And then we're like, whoa, what? Alright, there was something on the ground near Sakura's body, which someone grabbed. Let's make sure. Okay, now we don't need to worry about that. Don't need to worry about that. Don't need to worry about that. So I guess it would be that, yeah, because she grabbed the poison, and then she did the, what was it? They switched the bottle of poison left with the Rec Room 4. That was the bottle. I believe that's that.
Yep.
Here's exactly what happened.
Let's hear it, boy.
This case began when Sakura asked a number of people to meet her in the rec room. Specifically, those people were Hiro, Toko, and Byakuya. But one of them headed out a bit earlier than the others, Toko. She got there one step ahead of everyone else and looked around for a good hiding spot.
Okay, yeah.
Got it.
And she found it. She crawled into the locker to get out of sight. Then, from inside the locker, she saw Sakura enter the room. Next
Just
to
chilling.
arrive was
Yeah.
Candy?
When he got there, he mistakenly thought Sakura was going to try to kill him, so he panicked.
You dunce.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Without thinking, he grabbed a nearby Monokuma bottle and attacked Sakura with it. Thinking he'd killed her, he hastily began covering up his crime. He took a magazine from the table and forged a dying message from Sakura. To that end, he wrote down a name.
It was the killer!
Toko. By writing her name, he was hoping to pin the murder on her.
Psycho lady. I gotta get out of here, man.
Toko had witnessed the whole thing. So as soon as the coast was clear,
Is this the first one that we would have gotten all correct in the first try?
I don't know. We might have messed up on the first one, yeah. It was also a very easy one.
Yeah.
But in her rush, she made one little mistake.
Put it upside down.
Put the magazine back upside down.
Yep.
Poor thing.
And then she saw that.
Soon after, she watched as Sakura slowly opened her eyes. She also saw the blood dripping off Sakura's head and fainted. This caused her personality to switch back over to Genocide Jack. When she woke back up, her second personality also saw the blood-soaked Sakura, and she freaked out.
Poor Sakura.
Just like
We both say at the same time, just like, she knows so much shit. She just wanted to
She
do
just wanted
things
to
her
talk
own
to
way.
people. Like,
Yeah,
we'll
just
never
wanted
know
to
what
talk
she
to
wanted to
people.
talk about now.
No, yeah.
This explains why there were 2 wounds on Sakura's head. Assuming Sakura really was dead this time, she set about disposing of the evidence. She gathered up the broken Monokuma bottle shards and the queen chess piece. And that explains how Sakura was attacked twice with the same type of weapon. But even after those 2 blows, she was still alive. So then, what was Sakura's actual cause of death? It was the poison that Sakura herself got from the chem lab.
There's so much blood,
She
God.
turned the
Yeah.
red room into a true locked room scenario, and then drank the deadly mixture.
Listen, she's a bit of a badass.
Yeah.
And there, she took her final breath. Later on, the rest of us discovered that her body was in there. We had to smash the door's window to get inside. But someone already knew what had happened, knew that she had committed suicide. And that same someone quietly snatched the bottle of poison from off the ground. And while nobody was looking, replaced it with an empty protein can. They did all this specifically to place all the suspicion on themselves, in an attempt to guide the trial to a false conclusion. And the one who went to all that effort
Aww.
was you, Hina.
Yeah, I hope she doesn't get in trouble for this.
Yeah.
That scares me. I mean, she didn't do it, so it's fine, right? It's fine, right? I guess we'll find out if it's fine next time. I mean, Sakura goes. That's it. It sucks, but Hina didn't do it. All she did was mess with the investigation a little bit. You know what? So did Byakuya, and he got away with that bullshit.
Yeah.
So Hina's safe, right? I guess we'll find out next time.
You're actually panicked.
I'm worried.
She's your girl.
I'm worried. They put her where the psychopaths usually are in the comics. I don't like
Yeah.
that. She's not a psychopath.
Only for donuts.
Yes. Same here.